So real-time music's been going since 1997, so a long time, and I've been involved since the very beginning, and throughout that whole journey Roots to Work have been there with us through every time we've taken somebody on through an employability scheme, whether it be the Future Jobs Fund a way back, or Community Jobs Scotland, or more recently the Kickstart programme. Roots to Work have been there supporting both us and the people that we've taken on in employment. The thing about Roots to Work is that they support both the organisation and the people who are going into employment. So in terms of real time, the thing that they support our organisation with is that Roots to Work they're knowledgeable and they're credible. I know that if any opportunities or changes happen in the employability sector, Roots to Work are going to know about it, and they know more about it than I do, and that's really valuable when you're a small charity and you're just so pushed for time, you don't have the resources that you would want. And then I think in terms of the people that we've taken on into employment, that's obviously where the rubber meets the road for Roots to Work. They make sure that all the support is in place pre-employment, during employment, even when there's post-employment progression, just making sure that all of that's there. And it sounds easy, but it's quite messy, and there's a lot of little bits to pick up here and there, and that's something that I think I've always been quite impressed that Roots to Work have always been on top of that. I think the best thing about Roots to Work is that I always get the sense that they pay a lot of attention to who they employ as Roots to Work staff, and every interaction I've had with Roots to Work has been very positive, very person-centred, and it's never been about forcing outcomes. Can you just take somebody on? Can you just do that? It's never been about that. It's always been about making sure it's the right fit for the organisation and for the person, and I think that's the best thing about them, because there's so many other employability organisations that are maybe a wee bit more, they're chasing targets and chasing numbers and results. I think the second thing that I think is really good about Roots to Work is that they understand the third sector. They know that small organisations like ours don't have an HR function or an HR person, and so we're always a wee bit under-resourced in those areas, and they take the time to help us and support us through that. And they know that the third sector, they know that we don't like things to be done to us. We like to work with other people, and Roots to Work are up there with the best of them at working in partnership. Very respectful and collaborative, and I've had nothing but great experiences working with Roots to Work over the years. And I think I would say another thing that I think is really good about Roots to Work is they're one of the only organisations that I've seen who are able to translate national strategy into local action, and they do it in such a practical and workable way as well. And I think in relation to, for example, the Kickstart programme that's more recent, they've been able to take the collective potential of the third sector and pull that together in ways that maybe as organisations we couldn't have done on our own. And again, I think that shows the real need for an organisation like Roots to Work and the impact that it can have. I think the reason that our preference is to work with Roots to Work is that they're also a charity themselves, and that so there's a sort of comfort there that this isn't being done for a profit margin. This is being done because that is the purpose of Roots to Work. They've set out to do that, so there's a comfort there for us. But also, I think employing someone involves a wide range of factors out with just coming in and doing the work itself, and it's about that preparation and that support. And we know that Roots to Work have got the people, the local intelligence, they've got that infrastructure, and they've got the credibility to be able to provide that wraparound support that a lot of places say they do, but I have seen firsthand that Roots to Work absolutely deliver on that. and that's the kind of main reason that we would always want to work with Roots to Work. Probably say the most positive experience I've had is quite a recent one, through the Kickstart programme itself. So working with Roots to Work, they had sort of brought together a lot of the charities who were involved in the Kickstart programme as through their role as the gateway organisation. And I never once got the sense that this was a box ticking exercise for Roots to Work. I got a real sense that this was about bringing all these employers together to share positive progress, to try and remove barriers, and to try and create the conditions to make this a real success. And I have to say, sometimes you go into these meetings and you're like, oh, another meeting. But I never once got that with those meetings. It was really positive to hear the experiences of the other employers and hear how it was going with them, and share the positive stories that that were happening in our own organisation. And I just don't know if that would happen in an organisation that wasn't Roots to Work. And I think that's the type of thing that's the hallmark of the way they operate. And yeah, that was just a really good experience. I think it's absolutely incredible to hear that Roots to Work have put 20,000 people into work. Anybody who's done any type of work in the employability sector knows just how hard it is to be able to support someone into paid employment. It's a lot easier said than done, and to see such a magnitude of people getting into employment of 20,000 is incredible. And if you wanted to have an example of how you can maximise the amount of well-being in a particular community or local authority area, you could do a lot worse than looking at Roots to Work and the massive impact that they've had over the years in North Lanarkshire. On behalf of all the young people that you've helped real-time put into work, a heartfelt thank you from everyone within the organisation for the opportunities that you've given those young people. And also, as a resident in North Lanarkshire, a heartfelt thank you for the amazing achievement of putting 20,000 people into work, and the significant increase in the well-being across North Lanarkshire that has resulted in. Well done to everybody at Roots to Work. I know it doesn't always seem like it's appreciated, but it absolutely is, and I sit from the sidelines as a partner and employer and admire Roots to Work and the people who work for it, and long may your long reach.